Welcome to What's Your Story? I'm your host, Sharita Williams, and today I have a ballerina on my show. She is from New York. Please help me welcome Jane Johnson to the show. Miss Johnson, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Miss Johnson, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you became a ballerina.
Well, my name is Jane Johnson, of course, and I'm originally from New York, Long Island, New York. I just grew up just loving to dance and do gymnastics. I did gymnastics all throughout school, and with that, it I started doing the floor and really taking a liking to floor routines. So when I was in my junior high school year, I started doing choreography for the high school team of gymnastics. So it was off, kind of, really, great because here it was, I was in junior high and I was able to do choreography for a high school gymnastics team, which led me to my passion of dance. And then through there, I started dancing, doing not only ballet, but doing ballroom. I taught ballroom, ballet, and jazz. I also taught at Arthur Murray and different schools throughout, Long Island, and also started just, doing choreography for different events and different things. Some of them, from the African culture and myself and my friends, we did things for Arthur Mitchell and just so much, throughout the community, which led me to my passion of dance.
Yes. So, Miss Johnson, how long have you been dancing?
I would say, well, over 40 years of dance. So,
And out
yeah.
of that 40 years, how many years professionally did you dance?
Um, I would say a good 30 of it. Yes.
Absolutely. So,
Mhm.
who inspired you to start dancing?
Well, the inspiration came from within. However, one of my all-time favorites is Debbie Allen, of course. Watching Fame growing up. I mean, I guess, when you watch her, everyone wanted to be a dancer, I think, at that point. Um, a lot of people think that I remind them of Debbie Allen, even in, how I teach I'm a little strict, so I have, her inspiration. And, we've had the honor to meet Debbie. We've had the honor to work with Debbie. My daughter actually danced in her Brothers of the Night production. So it's just, it's nice to have someone, that gives so much to be an inspiration as well.
Absolutely. So, I understand you were inspired and you started a foundation. Tell us the name of your foundation.
The name of the foundation is the Making of a Black Dancer Foundation. And the foundation was founded for a lack of representation of Blacks in dance.
So, in your 30 years of dancing, you're saying that the minority was the least. This inspired you to dance. This inspired you to start your foundation. Within starting your when you started your foundation, how did you start your foundation?
Okay. So everyone was all excited when Misty Copeland, became the first prima ballerina after 75 years of not being accepted into ABT. That didn't sit well with me because it took 75 years and we are supposed to be so far ahead in time. Um, so I said, I have to do more. I'm this, figure and influential figure. A little bit of background about my New York background. I was a celebrity makeup artist, also hair, in and being able to have that influence. So I said, I have to be able to do something. I have to, be able to reach out, find out from other colleagues, how can I go about getting our Black dancers on stages, getting them, with their IMDb credit, which is, their professional acting, getting them in magazines and different things. So we started building these platforms with partnerships. So through the partnerships, it opened up the opportunity for donations and just people pouring into us because they also felt that this is something that they wanted to see. So we started the foundation. We started with my company, Vision Elite Royalty, and we started touring with Black dancers to tour throughout the US, the United States. So we started, with, of course, Rock Hill, Charlotte, Atlanta, Tennessee, Wilmington, North Carolina, some New York, different places that were open to allowing us to perform. So we did different performances, and through that now, it used to be that I used to call everyone to try to get our dancers on the stage. Now they call us, and we started a production, and I know that we'll get into that later. We started a production for us by us, and I was excited about that. Yes. So the foundation is like now growing into this really, really, big foundation because we have so many supporters, but not only supporters that are local. Now we have some supporters from Russia, some supporters from, and I know that's not a popular place, but throughout the United States, we have point shoe brands that are now our partners, and they're sending point shoes, they're sending different things for this project that started with just me wanting to make a difference. And my wanting to make a difference, it could have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 girls, but it's turning out that it's not only girls, it's young men, it's older people, it's everyone is really teaming up to become a part of this. Radio personalities, they reach out to us from time to time and different things to make it a great place. R&B artists, local R&B artists, we've had Be Sincere. He's a local artist, phenomenal. They just had D1. They did a music video. We had Byron from the Connected Radio. So we have so many people that are just, stepping out to pour into us. It's becoming really a great movement. We have, Jamian. She's a personal chef. She donated chef services to us for select events because she has a passion for the performing arts as well. So, and the girls just recently met the Chloe and Maud from Syncopated Ladies, which is a tap group who kind of had the same story, about lack of representation of Black dancers that did tap. So we have so many people. We have Jerry Telefaro. He's a photographer. He's taken on the project to do Dance Noir, which is about Black dance, and it's going to premiere all across the world because he's international as a photographer as well. So we are, proud and blessed to be able to have the foundation now.
That sounds fantastic. So through your mission, what do you want to convey to the people, and also share your mission with our viewers?
Okay. Brown girls do ballet. And the reason we came up with that is because one, lack of representation within the dance industry, but also that to show that brown brown girls can do, and brown is our skin color. We are Black girls, but that they have great technique as well. Because sometimes we get put in the category, Black dancers, they do hip hop, they do majorette, they do, certain genres of dance. But our mission statement is that, yes, we love hip hop. We love all genres of dance, as we should. However, we can put on our point shoes just as well as anybody else and get out there and go on point as well.
So Miss Johnson, what are you looking to accomplish through Making of a Black Dancer Foundation?
I'm looking to accomplish partnerships that can put our dancers on stages, that can put our dancers, in videos and print ads, just to let them know awareness that, this does exist. And another part of the mission, because it's like, well, is it just about dance? It's not. It's also going into the mental therapy that dance offers. Just being, some of our dancers have had other issues, and some of them didn't want to talk, they didn't want to speak, they didn't want, and I said, you don't have to do it, just do it through dance. Express yourself through dance. Be able to be yourself through dance, because in today's world it says, your hair, when you look at Instagram, because they're looking at the Instagram stories, and how they should see themselves, and it doesn't show Black as being beautiful. You see the straight hair, the makeup, the contoured face, and everything. And I'm like, no, express yourself through dance. Be yourself. Let's have this open atmosphere that it's okay that you can wear your hair in braids. It's okay that you can, wear your hair in the Afro puffs, and however, is your beauty, and that's what we're trying to create. So many times, even in school, you hear of people that, oh, your hair is too big, you can't graduate, you can, and it's putting us and training our kids that Black is not beautiful. And it really is. And this is an environment not only for just, because everybody's like, oh, is this just about Black dancers? This is about Black dancers acceptance, but we accept all dancers, because we want to be the bigger, foundation of the world. We don't want to just say, okay, it's just about, us. No, right now we just need a little bit more attention to be able to help a population of people, that through mental health, through dance therapy, we can make a difference, and showing them that you don't have to take off your clothes. You don't have to, go out there and do these things that America society is pushing you towards. Where it's deeper than that. You can be educated, you can be a dancer. There are so many avenues that you can go into that you probably never even thought of. Just like, people like, well, it's just dance. Well, have you ever thought to get deeper? Dance can be therapy. Why not open up, go to college, get your degree, open up a dance therapy practice, that through dance, you can minister, you can help someone break out of something that they may be going through, because life has become a little bit complicated for the younger generation, because there's so many choices and so much that, they have too much access to the internet, and the internet kind of molds them on what they feel or how they feel that they should be.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you kind of hone in on the mental illness, because we've been, for the last 2 years, we've had the pandemic, and that has caused so much mental illness, so much anxiety among not only Black people, but of all people.
Yes.
So, and using dance as a part of therapy, I think that's great. So during the pandemic, how did that affect your studios during the pandemic?
Immediately we knew that we had to transition fairly quickly. So my daughter, just since the age of 5, my uncle sewed into her and taught her how to do computers. So I said, let's go online. So what we did is we immediately went online, and we never really missed that beat. So the kids, because a lot of the schools gave free computers and free internet service, they were able to, still be on their online practices. And we actually did more, because since we were home and everybody was home, they actually got more practice than when they were, in school, because when you're in school, you had set hours, set times. So they actually got in. And when we actually came back that season, a lot of people were, behind, and we did competition. She was like, you guys came back so strong, because I sewed into, I'm like, we got this time. Let's go ahead and take advantage of it. And we did more hours, and we did even extended hours, and we were able to do 7 days a week versus your driving time, your commuting time, them getting out of school, being tired, hungry. So, it really helped them. And from a mental health standpoint, it gave them that break that their parents needed, right? Because no one was used to their kids being home all day, let alone being teachers, trying to figure out how to work the internet, trying to do the grading books, everything. So we were that liaison that helped them get through. But we didn't just open it up to our students. We opened it up to, a lot of the other students. And we did like free sessions where, you could come in and just have a dance break, just have a mental health break. So we did that on Tuesdays, every Tuesday of the month. And we did like little fun little, catchphrases and different things like, choreography. And it really turned out to be beautiful, and it helped us grow. It helped us meet other people from different states across the United States. So it was beautiful.
Absolutely. So Miss Johnson, we're going to take a small break.
Okay.
And we'll be right back after the break. And if you're watching today and you are enjoying this broadcast and all the broadcasts on WYTV7, please donate to WYTV7.org so that we can bring much more and many more talent to your viewing pleasure.
I'm Dr. Raquel Tolson, host of Blessed Mindset Matters. Is your mind on your money? Are you ready to be more intentional with your money? Then get my free booklet, Mind on My Money, Plan, Pocket, Protect. In this booklet, I offer you practical suggestions on planning intentionally, pocketing wisely, and protecting your money. Get the booklet at www.rakeltolson.com. That's RAYKELTOLSON. Get your free copy today.
We're back with Jane Johnson. She is a ballerina, and she has a dance studio in Charlotte and Rock Hill. Miss Johnson, tell us about your hours and who can be involved, like the age groups.
Okay, we start at age 3 and we go all the way up through adult. Our hours are usually in the evening after 5 p.m. We do have summer programs coming up, which will be during the day hours, of course. And each program is going to have a little title that we come up with. So it might be a day on point. It might be like, a ballerina, for, a day. It might be, hip hop. It might be any genre. We created a hip hop tap day. So then that way they can, experience that as well. Both locations, we are at our Charlotte locations Saturday through Monday, and then in our Rock Hill locations Tuesday through Friday.
Okay, and Miss Johnson, so you said there's no age. Is there any age limit? Like, can I come?
You can come. Yes, you can come. And we also have where we can do even Zoom meetings, Zoom links, different things. And we have our new one that's coming out is where we're doing exercise, which is ballet exercise at the bar. So it's teaching you're kind of doing ballet technique, but it's at the bar and it's actually exercise and you're stretching every part of your body and building it up.
So, Ms. Johnson, how can our viewers get in contact with you and how can we support you?
Yes, our website is www.visiongymnasticsanddance.com. You can reach out to us there. You can also reach us on Facebook or Instagram with Vision Gymnastics and Dance or Vision Elite Royalty or the Making of a Black Dancer Foundation.
That's wonderful. So I want to ask you something. Being a dancer and dancing for over 35 or 40 years, tell us some of, and I know that people say racism doesn't exist, but tell us some of the stereotype or the prejudice that you experienced as a Black dancer.
Myself, because my skin is lighter, I haven't experienced as much as my girls have. So it's kind of like a catch-22, right? if your skin is light, right? If we go back to the days of the dancers, if their skin was light, they kind of fit in, right? Put them in, they can wear the pink tights, you can wear, the pink ballet shoes, and the lines still look good, like Misty Copeland. Your lines still look like you really can't tell that there's a Black dancer there. However, when I started my program is when I noticed more so, you know, the prejudiceness. Hair has to be a certain way. Even when we go to competitions, they're judged. You, you how they say it is that you're judged based on how you all look alike. Your hair should be neat and not a hair out of place in a bun for a ballerina, because that's the traditional style. But what happens if a child has dreads, or what happens if a child does not have that look? So we have to spend so much money and time just to be able to create that look, to make sure that we're as one. While I do understand being in uniform and looking good and groomed, I just feel that sometimes, it's very hard for our Black community, because, we just started being accepted where braids are okay, at a competition. When they come in, make sure that, they have this look, and we're always told what look they want us to have whenever we do things. But that's not only in the white community, it's also in our Black community that are more on the Instagram side. They have a certain look, they have a certain, how do you say it? They have everything that they want to look like that perfect Instagram photo. So one of the ones that we recently put out was a photo, and it is kind of going crazy because my daughter had the big hair, and and some people were like, that's a lot of hair. But what happens to the young Black girl that really has that much hair? What I'm saying? And the other, my other dancers had, cornrows, and the other one had on a puffy, you know, hair as well, because it's a statement. It's letting the world know that, what, we are Black girls. Our hair might not be straight. We shouldn't have to get relaxers to be able to get our hair up without a strand coming out of place, because strands do come out of place,
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
just to show that there is diversity, dance is not, we put in a stereotype, but there is diversity in dance. There's
Yeah.
diversity in everything. So, we see it all across, all across the genre, everywhere, that people are being stereotyped if they got to fit this or fit a quota. But there's
Right.
diversity in everything. And they talk about diversity and inclusion, but so what you're telling me is diversity and inclusion is struggling in the dance world. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
So we've come so far only to know that we haven't come really far at all, and that's just everyday, that's just everyday life. But as an artist and as a dancer, tell us what your vision is, for your foundation.
Okay. The foundation, the vision is kind of similar to how we're going to impact um, the Black community. And what I see us doing is building stronger partnerships, building, my first thing that I want to do is build awareness, because sometimes if we don't build the awareness, people don't know that the issue exists, right? So first we have to let you know that there is an issue, because sometimes we're taught to don't speak that, don't say that, I'm saying, that might come against your business, or that might, you might not be able to prosper, or that might, put you, but we can't be afraid. Because if there's any part of healing that needs to be done in a certain community, because let's just talk about not only the girls, the young men, that we've impacted their life and changed and gave opportunity, and been able to tell them that you're kings and queens. So we want to impact these young children and even the older ones, because some of the older ones that we even reached out, because we this year for our special that we have a special play, and we brought on a lot of older people that it changed their lives as well, because they were like, we would never have this opportunity if it wasn't brought to us. And the smile and the warming of my heart that was felt from just knowing, that the Making of a Black Dancer Foundation created this opportunity that we will continue to pave the way, continue to offer opportunity to build relationships, to be able to build up our dancers, not only the dancers, but even their families. Because when you heal one, it kind of spreads and it touches and it helps to heal, not only the child, but the family. That's the impact that we want to make. We also, we self-fund children to dance with us. So not every dancer is dancing with us that are paying, because if you show me a dancer that wants to dance, my job is to get them dancing, So, I mean, I've had people reach out from shelters and say, hey, we got a little girl here that all they're doing is dancing. And, what can you do? I'm like, send them in, we will make a difference. We will be your advocate, and we will find places for you to perform and education to teach you how to sustain as a dancer, creative ideas. And also my other background is I've worked on, for a firm, Wall Street. Well, it was a brokerage firm. So to teach them financial, you know, been in the mortgage business. So we've assisted many of the parents with, what is a 1003? What is your good faith estimate? How do you purchase? How do you become creative as a dancer doing what you love? And you're an entrepreneur, to show you that you do have to pay yourself. So you do have to open up a company, pay yourself, so that guess what? You actually have income coming in, so that you can show the bank that you can be approved for a mortgage. So it's a little bit more that the foundation goes into. We cover the mental health, we cover, just being able to talk, just being able to tell your truth. Which in a world that doesn't tell the truth, right? Because everything on
Absolutely.
Instagram, Facebook, that's not your truth,
Right.
but it's what you're putting up, yes.
Absolutely. So tell us how the birth of the dark chocolate nutcracker came about.
Okay. Well, I love the Nutcracker. I always have, been a fan of the Nutcracker, and I just love everything about it. And, I watch every rendition of it, I just like to see it. I love to see, the girls on point. Like, I love ballet. So one day I was, sitting there and I was going through everything, and I remember that the girls was like, we want to be in a Nutcracker. And I was like, like, wow, after going through so many renditions, sometimes until someone puts a different perspective on us. So I never looked at it that, well, my girls would never be able to dance in a Nutcracker, if you really think about it. Because if it took Misty Copeland 75 years to be accepted, and you look around, and when I was going through the renditions, I didn't see any Black people. I said, so what is this saying? Because, I never had the lens really put on my eyes that way. So when I looked at it from a different pair of opticals, I said, I have to do something. So, and I began writing. I was like, but if you're going to do it, you're going to have to do it, to relate to us. So I came up with the dark chocolate nutcracker. And in the dark chocolate nutcracker, everybody will tell you, one of my favorite parts is that we go, how they, in the nutcracker, they go to all the different countries. Well, in ours, we go to Africa. And they'll tell you, they're like, will Africa ever end? Because that's my baby, that's my giving birth. And when they go to Africa, it's just a show in itself. And it's just phenomenal. And that's how the dark chocolate Nutcracker began. And I told my story. And in telling my story, the first year we did okay, but it wasn't the best of sales. So we might have like had 300 people. But when I started telling my people, that's when I started telling my story, that's when the people started coming, because they were like, we never looked at it like that. So then I had peoples of all colors donating, saying, we're going to get tickets, we're going to come and support, because they never thought about that young Black girls would never have the opportunity to dance in the Nutcracker. So now every year we're pretty much sold out. We not only involved our girls, that's a community-based project. So you see, one year, like, we're pulling the Girl Scouts, we're pulling, the community. We put out a post that if you want to be in it, you can be in it. We brought in, like, Sherry Songbird. We brought in oh gosh, Dark Eye. We brought in Be Sincere. We brought in Byron from the Connected Radio. We brought in some dancers from the Crump community, Ungraceful J. We brought in Syrian. And then all of our vision dancers. We brought in so many dancers from the community, and not only dancers, singers, actors, different people to be a part of that production. And every year we wanted to grow and get bigger and bigger and bigger, so that everyone can have an opportunity.
Absolutely. So, Ms. Johnson, thank you
You're
for what
welcome.
you do in the community. And thank you for letting your story become a part of our story on What's Your Story.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.